Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Loan Officer Breakfast Club. It is Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. We're going to get started right about now. Here we go. Hey, we got Owen Lee back in the house. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. We also have Kelly Dutton in the house, too. We're going to get a quick word from her. Love the new background, Kelly. Looking good, man. Very fancy. Very fancy. People got fancy backgrounds, you know, like Moody, Blake, you know. People are like, and, you know, of course, we have to mention Kristen and Justine as well. You know, you guys got your cool, fancy backgrounds. Let me get my mood music going in the background.
Oh, there you go. There's been a lot of requests for Owen Lee. People are wondering where Owen is.
I know.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the word slides in the chat yet. I'm just saying.
I know. And don't do it because we're not prepared to do that. We will get them to you on the email, you know, that goes out today. So don't worry about that. A couple things before we get rocking and rolling here with Owen Lee. Number one, putting a Bible verse in the chat. It's always like to warm it up with a Bible verse. If you got a nice Bible verse that you want to put in the chat, please put it in there. But put the verse. Don't just put the reference. Put the verse in there so we can enjoy that. Let's see. Yesterday. What was yesterday about? Let's try to remember. What was that? Yesterday was Wednesday. Oh, Kevin Gillespie call reluctance. Yeah.
Two things I want to mention with that.
What?
Call reluctance starts today. There's still time to get in. So if I know a lot of people are driving and whatnot, if you want a call from the office so you can get registered for that class today, just put interested in the chat and Jen will call you. We'll get you hooked up. That's
a good way to do it. Interested. Yeah. If you're interested in getting plugged into the call reluctance class, if you feel like you missed out or you forgot to do it or whatever, put interested in the chat.
Yeah, and we'll get, because we got to call you this morning to get you all registered for that, because that starts, the 5-week starts today at 1 o'clock Eastern time. But you still got time to get in that. Other thing I have to mention is Kevin Gillespie and Carl White's, they're doing their workshop today.
Their leadership.
For branch managers, broker owners, regionals, owners of companies. It's ideal for somebody like that. And there's still time to get registered for that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool one, by the way. Yeah, if you're in that position to where you're building teams, that's a no-brainer. Plus, it's absolutely, you know, it's just free. It's open to everybody. It's not a membership thing. You can get in. The link is there. Jen put the link there. Thanks, Jen. So don't miss that one if you're in leadership. So that would be good.
I'm looking forward to hearing Kevin and Carl talk about growing a branch.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, hey, you know, Kelly Dutton's here. Kelly, what's going on? How are you?
It's not going on.
Right? You're a little busy these days. Helping some mellow BCP. Yeah. A little busy.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jesus. I'm happy I'm busy.
Yeah.
A little scenario. I can give you a closing.
Yeah. What happened? Give us what have you done recently that was kind of cool?
Well, Chinese buffet. For $3,300,000. So that was the purchase price. They had 30% down. They were a 690 score. The total amount financed was $2,331,000. 9.06 was the rate over prepayment over 5 years, 30% or 30-year amortization, and it was a 54321 prepayment.
Yeah, prepay. Yeah.
But the most important part was the commission was sent out at 30% for $13,996.
So let's think about that. Somebody who doesn't normally do these type of loans thought, I'm going to get with Kelly. I've got this lead. They got you. You got on the phone. You had the conference call, and now that person's getting $13,000.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, that seems like a pretty good deal. Kristen, I don't know. What do you think?
It sounds pretty good to me.
Sounds like a pretty good deal. Owen, what do you think? You think it's a pretty good deal? I think it's a pretty good deal.
Kelly, I'd like that in 5s and 10s, please.
I like a shoebox with ones.
All kidding aside, guys. See, yes, Kelly, she does do churches. Kelly can help with any of this stuff. I send all my crazy, you know, what I call, they're not crazy. They're just commercial deals I'm not so familiar with. There's a lot of ins and outs of these deals and corks. I just send them to Kelly. I don't worry about. You got to do a nice handoff though. The way to handle this, guys, is you get on the phone on a conference call with you, your client, and Kelly. And let me tell you, you know nothing about the commercial stuff. She knows everything. They're going to have a conversation where you're just going to be sitting there like a fly on the wall, going, and then she's going to take it over from there. Fantastic stuff. The way to reach out to Kelly, she'll answer your questions in chat. If you got some right now for her, she'll reach out to you in the chat. But the best way to get through to her to get a deal cooking or get her to reach out to you right away is to go to workwithoneclick.com. That's what we've arranged for you guys here at Breakfast Club. Workwithoneclick.com. Maybe Gen Z could throw that in there. Workwithoneclick.com. She's going to help you like Angela. She's fantastic. Love Kelly. She's just great. The whole team is great. They're fantastic. So if you got if commercial's not your bag, on those type of unusual deals is not your bag, Kelly can handle it. She can handle it. Okay, good stuff. Thanks, Kelly, for all you do. We really appreciate you. And so, without further ado, it's been a minute, and let's just go ahead and bring up Mr. Owen Lee. I think he's got a lot for us today. We haven't seen you in a while. He's been gallivanting around and vacationing and fishing.
Happy 26, everyone.
Well, and the good news is not a lot's been going on. It's kind of a quiet atmosphere.
Kind of quiet.
Yeah, not much going to political.
Quiet.
Yeah, the White House. Not much.
Well, they've been waiting for him to get back. It's everybody's been waiting for him.
He was gone scoping out that second home in Greenland is where he's been.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah. I heard we're supposed to get a counteroffer to our purchase agreement.
Well, I did send over that pre-approval, So.
But he had to slide it through Kelly for the igloo loan.
Yeah, I was going to say we didn't give that one to Kelly.
It's the igloo loans she can handle, no problem.
Yeah. I think the participant when I used to appraise homes, that was my first job in the industry. You used to have to write. You do lakefront homes or something like that. You'd have to write a huge paragraph about how the land value exceeded 30% of the overall value because they weren't used to that. And I think Greenland, the value's in the land, not in the homes. But anyway, conversation for another day.
It's interesting. It's interesting atmosphere that we find ourselves in these days. So,
well, I actually have a slide on Greenland, so we'll have to a little bit related to that.
All kidding aside, I'm thinking about going there like this summer when it warm. I want to see what the place looks like.
I've always wanted to go there in Iceland, and I've just
we went to Iceland. Iceland's beautiful, so it's just this big volcanic rock, and the volcanic rock is all overgrown with moss, and it's just it looks like Jurassic Park. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. But we haven't been to Greenland yet, so I was literally thinking about going there. I've been wanting to go there anyway, just see what it looks like.
I don't know that Greenland would be the place to go. It's pretty. I don't know, man.
Well, dude, you can see. A lot of people say the same thing about the desert. You go in the desert, nothing there, not much, and it's gorgeous. It's just a different. It's just a different view. So I just want to see what it looks like. Yeah.
Well, I hope they got a nice hotel, a nice room service hotel out there.
Well, they say the Northern Lights are incredible. Like really.
Mm-hmm. I got a YouTube channel for that.
Anyway, well, the market's been kind of quiet, hadn't it, Owen?
What's that?
Had the market been a little quiet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I thought before we get started, just for frame of reference, let's take a look at where we were over the past 12 months, right? This is going back to January 1st of 2025. And you can see, remember, this is a mortgage-backed securities chart. So up movement on the chart means a lowering of the interest rate. So if we look back on the year, you can see, we started off not too great with the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 2-3 months of the year. We really hit a rough patch. That really took a bite out of the spring market last year. I don't think that's going to happen this year. You saw our initial tariff announcement in April. Remember Liberation Day, and everybody thought that was going to cause inflation. Took the market about 4 months to realize that it really wasn't causing inflation. Fed announced cuts to the interest rate. You can see how those cuts, The two cuts that we got toward the end really didn't do much to the market. All the movement, as we often talk about, was in the beginning of the announcement when the market adjusted and you could see it.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time.
So this is just a nice, just frame of reference. Remind yourself, even with the ups and downs and whatnot, we're in a pretty good spot when you look at over the past 12 months. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing your daily work, when you're doing your, your DSP and all those things. We're in a pretty good spot right now. Can we go to the next slide real quick? All right.
Oh, sorry.
So that's okay. So this is.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'll get us there.
All right.
Jen's hands are frozen, so it's just taking her a little time to click it.
Sorry, everybody.
Yes, no worries at all.
all
No
good,
worries
Jen.
at all. So, but anyway, the next slide is really about since last December 1st. So this is really just something that looks at the last 5 weeks. Market was kind of up and down, and remember, this is a closer shot in, so these moves look a little bit exaggerated. But the market was undecided. We're bouncing up and down with every headline. We saw Trump announce 200 billion in agency bond purchases, and the market, shot up and then came back down. And I think what's happening is we're just now see what the $200 billion gave us, Greenland took away. And I'm only moderately joking about that. I think what happened is it's just like last late March and April, right? I don't know why, but they're fixated on tariffs causing inflation. And that really took all the juice out of our $200 million bond purchase, because now Trump is saying, or the president is saying, hey, in order to get Greenland, we're going to tariff these people if they don't want to go along. And that gives us these daily bumps of up and down. But again, when you're looking at this and when you say slides and you get these slides and you take a look, remember the 13-month chart. Don't pay too much attention to the 5-week chart, because interest rates move up and down. That's just part of our day. That's the way the financial markets are right now. So, once this Greenland thing passes, whatever happens with it, my guess is we'll get some of the juice of the $200 billion purchase back. But that's why I think we're just going to bounce around. We're going to be in the low sixes. Chief economist of the NBA, Mike Frantantoni, thinks that we're going to spend pretty well the entire year in the low sixes, maybe drifting down a little bit towards 6 in the fourth quarter. Fannie Mae's chief economist is a little bit more optimistic. They think that we're going to get to something that begins with a 5 the last 3 to 4 months of the year. But that would be like 5 and an 1/8, like, nothing crazy. There's not too much variance between those two. So let's go to one more slide. I've got a few. This is the CME projection chart for the Fed meeting next week. And as you can see, 95% of the prognosticators think we're going to just stay the same. And I think that's where all the smart money is right now. We got that last cut in December. I think they're going to pause for a while. They've got inflation. They've got jobs. Trump versus Powell. Powell's term ending. Our LLPA changes coming. All of these things are weighing in the marketplace, and that's why we're really at a 95% rate. Jen, if you go to the next slide.
And just a little commentary,
Yeah.
Owen, from you. So, and that's even though we'd all love to see, at least for our business, rates go down yet again, probably giving it let everything just kind of breathe a little bit. Probably not a half bad idea. Would you agree upon that?
I would. And listen, I like low rates just like everybody
Yeah.
else. But I like certainty and I like a level playing field. And I'm not a gigantic fan of the roller coaster.
Yeah.
So we're in a good spot. Remember the last time I was here, just before a few days before Christmas, we talked about long-term interest rates being the lowest they've been roughly in 3.5 years. Most homes on the market in the past 5 years. Housing affordability, it was at its best point in a few years. We had the national trend is to have a flat to slightly down year in home prices, which is actually good. That's good for buyers, right? We make money mostly on transactions, right? The transactions aren't happening. So this is really the best time to buy, clearly the best time to buy since the pandemic. So we're in a pretty good spot. So if you go back and look at this is the prediction chart for the whole year for the Federal Reserve. And as you can see by the highlighted boxes, the professional investor class really believes we're going to get one cut this year, just a singular cut. And that would come June or July-ish. So plenty of time for the Fed to change course. That would actually come probably in the first meeting for the next Fed chair, because Powell's term as Fed chair ends in May. So we're probably not going to see a cut, at least for the first three meetings of the year. So that stability you talked about, Carl, excuse me, I do think is going to be there.
Yeah.
So
But it seems like everything else is clicking along pretty good. I noticed at least it seems like our credit pulls applications are up this year.
We're gonna get to this. It's been an exciting start of the year. You're stealing my thunder, Mr.
Oh, sorry.
Light.
I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
So yesterday, and this is when I had some fun with what's going on in Davos at the World Economic Forum. Greenland, that's what everybody wants to hear about. That's what everybody wants to talk about. That's what's dominating the president's visit over there. We were supposed to get a housing affordability speech, right? For those of you that follow Bill Pulte, the FHFA director, on X and watch his statements and some of the things that the president tweeted on Truth Social, that Davos was going to be about housing affordability. But he let the no investors buying single family homes leak. They let obviously the $200 billion purchase leak of mortgage-backed securities. So yesterday I was watching the speech. There was really no housing news. And I was always curious, as Davos seems to, be a poor place to talk about United States housing market. Like, why wouldn't you do an event in first ring suburb of Cleveland or something like that, right? So we'll see. We'll see if there's anything left in that tank. But there was a disappointing Davos discourse yesterday that did not include us really in any way, shape, or form, like we had been hoping. We were hoping maybe for a MIP cut announcement in FHA, or a rebalancing of the loan level price adjustments with Fannie and Freddie, maybe some movement on investor and second home properties. Didn't get any of that. So we're still hopeful. We're still hopeful, though. So, and I think I've got one more slide. So this is what we were talking about, Carl. This is a Housing Wire article. Housing demand off to a good start. I know at our company, we're like, it's really been a good first couple weeks of the year. Very, very positive. I'm extremely encouraged. And we're seeing that across the country. If you look at the purchase applications, if you ignore the first 8, 10 business days of the year, people are getting back from Christmas, kids aren't back to school yet, that kind of thing. But man, once we took that first full real business week, we've got, applications up over 10% from where we were year over year. We've got purchase agreements up year over year. And I know in our shop, we're running about double what these numbers are in this Housing Wire article. It's really quite something in a good way. And I hope you guys are off to that start too, because you can kind of feel the energy in the marketplace. It's much different than the past couple of Januaries.
Yeah. Well, what I think a big part of it is, and you know way more about this than I do, obviously, but it just as a layperson, so to speak, on this topic, I think the knowledge of rates being twos and threes is almost like, well, my grandparents had that, but that was back in the,
we are breaking that. Yep.
That was back in the 70s, so to speak. Obviously an exaggeration, but that was like, oh, that was back during those crazy years.
Yeah.
And I saw a thing, Owen, where it said it was something like more people now have a rate that starts with a 6 or higher than with a 2 or a 3. Yeah.
Yeah. About 3 years ago, I think it was 64% of the people had a mortgage interest rate that began with a 2 or a 3. You're going to see that number come down.
Yeah.
And you're going to see it come down because it's just the average lifespan of a mortgage is 5 years, right? So, and people are hanging on to those 2s and 3s longer. I think that number got up to about 65 to 70% at its all-time high, but it's waning. And trust me when I tell you, there's going to be that chunk, that meaningful chunk of fiscally very responsible people that are just going to keep that. And I don't even know that that's fiscally responsible. That's probably the wrong way to describe it. But the rest of the people, like, life is going to happen, They're going to need to consolidate debt, or they're going to have a child that goes to college, or they're going to have, they're going to get married, they're going to get divorced, they're going to have kids, they're going to want to be in a different school system, they're going to get transferred on their job, all the stuff of life, right, that happens. And so you're going to see that so-called lock-in effect. I mean, it's still there, don't get me wrong, but it is going to shrink. And, some people that are kind of on the fringes of that, if we get interest rates to something that does begin with a 5, like Fannie Mae predicts, then those people are going to find it a little bit easier and easier to let go of that 3 1/8 mortgage. So, but really good start for the year. That's because the fundamentals underpinning the housing market, lower interest rates, more homes for sale, no crazy appreciation, a little bit more of a buyer's market than more of a buyer's market than we've had since before the pandemic. These things are good for our business, and we're seeing it in the start of 2026.
Yeah. I think, unfortunately,
sorry, Carl, just real quick. So I don't know that we were set up to do if you put the slides in the chat, that it gets sent to you automatically. I'm not sure. So Gen Z, if you would be so kind as to just put the slides into the chat. And then that way, for all of you that are typing slides, if you're typing slides, that means you're in the chat. That means when she puts the slides into the chat, you can download the slides from right here. Don't stop putting slides in, guys. I don't think the automated slide thing's working. So we're just going to upload the slides into the chat. Hear me again. We're just going to there it is. The slides are in the chat. If you want them, click on them and download them from here. So just do that now.
If you want to really annoy Frank, everybody put slides.
Don't do it
in the chat. Put slides in
it. Carl White. See, now they're saying no slides. Go find it in the chat. The slides are there.
I will say this: slightly annoying Frank while on this broadcast is a very fun thing to do.
Yeah,
I'm glad you all find that entertaining. Yeah. So
where are you at today, Owen?
Slide, slippity slide, whatever.
I I am in a Marriott hotel in Louisville, Kentucky.
I love Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah,
That's
but it was fun.
that's the
Go
home of
ahead.
Muhammad Ali.
I know. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
You know,
great.
I got here yesterday and I'm leaving later this afternoon. So just a quick trip in, quick trip out.
Hmm.
But the interesting part is I left 6-degree weather in Detroit. I got to 40-degree weather in Louisville with some light snow, and all anybody talked about was how the weather was horrible. And there was like no cars on the road. People were sheltering in place. And I was like, wow, you
Yeah,
folks really should not go north of here, right? You
dude,
wouldn't do well.
our school shut down when there's a fog, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hi, thanks for enjoying Loan Officer Breakfast Club here on YouTube. I just wanted to drop in and remind you that if you're a newer loan officer and you're trying to get to that 2 or 3 deals a month, or if you're seasoned and you're trying to get from 50 to 60 or 60 to 80, Mortgage Marketing Animals has you covered. We've got the full gambit from start to finish, top to bottom. Everything you need is at mortgagemarketinganimals.com. There's a reason that mortgagemarketinganimals.com is the #1 mortgage coaching platform in the country. So check it out, mortgagemarketinganimals.com.
I heard we were talking about it yesterday. It looks like a pretty good little storm coming in through the southeast, though. For
But I
it's not a
hear,
Colorado storm, but it's or a Utah storm, but it's a pretty decent little East Coast storm coming in.
yeah, well, we've had our fair share of cold weather the last 10. Winter is definitely uh, getting its money's worth this year.
Yeah.
So we'll
Hey,
see.
hey, Owen, what do you think is is there any, and maybe you already kind of said it, but is there any one thing that you're seeing the uptick in business? Like hey, and the reason why we think we're seeing this uptick is because,
Yeah. I really think it's the fundamentals. And you can't, it's just like, and I know Florida's going through a little bit of a downward turn in their real estate. You have to remember they might be down 2%, 6%, 8%, whatever, but you went up 80%,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So put that into perspective. And if you really look at it, this is probably, not probably. This is the best underpinnings of fundamentals that we've
Mhm.
had
Mhm.
since the end of the, cocktail party 2% low interest rates,
Mhm.
right? And I keep saying this, but it's true. More homes on the market, lower interest rates, decent consumer confidence. And even on the refi side, right? You've got a record amount of tappable home equity and a record amount of consumer debt.
Mhm.
And so the fundamentals in our market are taking us in the right direction. And it's nice to be swimming downstream after 3.5, 4 years of swimming upstream.
Yeah. I honestly think, pardon me, I honestly think a big reason why the refis are up, and they're definitely up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's massively up, is frankly, I don't think it's as much, maybe this naivety, but I don't think it's as much that the consumer is reaching out. I think the loan officers and the companies, and unfortunately the servicers,
Oh, yeah.
are getting over this. Well, they got a rate of 2, that nobody's going to want to refi. And come to find out, it was like I saw a thing that I've been showing for a couple months now that Brian Stevens shared with me. I think it was like 70%, I think 68% or something like that of all refis were to a higher rate,
Oh, sure.
and
100%.
yeah, to solve life problems. And I think the loan officers are starting to go, oh, okay. And they're actually starting to reach out to their database and come to find out, it's a good thing to do.
Well,
There's
Carl,
money
what
there.
what what we went over the last time I was on Breakfast Club before Christmas, I think there's $1.33 trillion of non-mortgage consumer debt. That's student loans and credit cards, and this new budgeting category of personal loan. Personal
Yeah.
loan. You know what an interest rate is on a personal loan?
Yeah.
High. That's what it is.
Yeah.
HIGH. And so that gives a lot of room to take somebody who's at 3.25, put them at 6.25, get them cash out. They're saving $625 a month. You have to have a worldview of your debt situation. If this part of your mortgage household debt is in really good shape and the rest of your financial life is an absolute mess, you got to use one tool to solve the other problem. And so
yeah, great stuff. And for our members, pardon me, for our members, make sure you go in and look at the refi toolkit. Put that into action. We're getting some great results. Hey, and just a quick heads up, today's class, one of my partners, Jimmy Reed, actually flew down. We're hanging out today. Today he brought his the lovely Mrs. Reed. And what we're going to be doing is I've been doing a version of Thor's Hammer, which is marketing to real estate agents for, very successfully for the last, I don't know, 27 years or something like that. Jimmy's actually got a few years on me in time in business. So he's been doing it for like, I think 30 years. And what we're doing is Jimmy and I have been comparing his approach to my approach. And we're kind of finding out that some of the things I was doing, maybe there's an easier way. And he's been kind enough to say some of the ways he's been doing, maybe we found an easier way. And so in today's the complete loan officer class for members at 2:00, Jimmy and I are going to be doing kind of a point counterpoint, and we're going to be, he's going to be talking about how he does it. I'm going to compare the difference, and we've come to very clear. Gosh, this seems to be the way to do it, and it's actually a kind of a Reese's peanut butter cup version of it. Nothing, striking one way or the other. Come to find out, this doesn't work at all, kind of thing. It's just simple little processes we can do to put the two together to get even better results. And so that's what we're going to do. And if you're not a member yet, contact either Kristen or Jen and get a quick walkthrough of the site. At least see what you what you might be missing, and that's it. So members, make sure you're on that. I think it'll be a really good time. Oh, and I think this is going to be the last call for the event. If you're wanting to come to the event, the lead acceleration, the lead acceleration event, where we're going to be the focus is going to be on generating leads and converting leads. That's here in Clearwater Beach. If you go to Mastermind Retreats with an S.com, mastermindretreats.com. And this is not a hype thing, but I think we were at like 87 and 94 is what the fire marshal allows in the room. And so at the track we've been going, I'm almost certain that later this afternoon it'll be filled up. And there
or Carl, you could see what Mr. Lincoln has to say with the fire marshal about getting that number pumped up a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you for the rim shot, Frank. I appreciate it. Better
we
than
actually had it. So the fire marshal
said trombone.
The fire marshal here in Pinellas County, they're really serious about this stuff. So
they should be. Yeah,
I suppose, and they literally came into one of our events one time and did a head count and stopped the event, and we had to have obviously we got the team to leave, but we had to, I think it was like 4 or 5 team members had to leave and go outside. They could be out in the hallway, so they just moved their table out in the hallway. But yeah, it's a serious thing here. So anyway, enough of that.
Carl White packing them in like Taylor Swift.
Well, yeah, I can't think of anything.
He is quite the dancer. I mean,
I was going to say it's his dance moves.
Hey, that's right. Let me tell you something. Taylor Swift is an amazing young lady. She
very talented,
very, very, very talented young lady. Look, anybody that rises that kind of success from scratch, as long as they do it legal, ethical, and moral, man, they got my adoration. I mean, it's impressive.
You need to tip your hat to that.
Got to tip your hat to that, and pretty much seems like stayed out of trouble for the most part. Her biggest scandal is she getting married this year or next, kind of thing. So I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. Her and Oprah is pretty high on my list. So anyway,
I also heard that she gave $1 million to every single one of her crew members from the last tour, from the Eras tour.
Yeah, hence the reason I put in an application.
Right.
I'll make a great coffee boy.
Carl's great on the smoke machine.
Yeah. I'll pump that thing like nobody else. Anyway, great to have you, and I always appreciate you, brother.
Hey, I love it. Glad to be back. I'll see everybody
soon. Yeah, thanks, Owen.
Yep.
Appreciate you, bro. Hey, are you good for next week? Do you know yet? Are you got a clear slate for next Thursday, or do you not know yet? Is that up in the air?
So. Yeah.
Think so?
I'll be
Okay,
here.
so probably count on you for that.
His people will contact our people. Yeah.
Okay, all right, good
Yeah.
stuff. Well, hey man,
Oh my God.
somebody's talking to us, or we gotta somebody gone rogue on us. All right. So good stuff, man. Well, appreciate you guys being here. As always, tomorrow we will have Chris Johnstone, Owen Lee, man. Always just my God.
Thank you, my friend.
We're
Great.
so
Best
blessed.
way to start a Thursday.
We're so blessed to have you. We really appreciate you very much. So for all of you that type slides instead of just downloading what was in the chat, too bad. That's what I'm going to say. You guys have a great day. We will see you here mañana. Adios.
Everybody, have a great day.
See ya.